meeting, March 21st, 2024. To the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Have a seat. Moving on to roll call.
Ronald Knuff.
Present.
Kenneth Hall is currently absent. Bonnie Allman.
Here.
Trevor Stone.
Here.
Ronald Glassick is absent. Judith Haldeman.
Here.
Jason Donahue.
Here.
Mason Smolinek.
Here.
Julia Kutzler.
Here.
Mayor Anthony Pristash.
Present.
Looking for the approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the week, or the meeting of February 1st and also the 15th.
Have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes by Mrs. Almond,
Second.
second by Mr. Donahue. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Mark Kenny, present.
Mark Ken, present. Hall is present. Okay, got that. Hearing of persons present. If you have something to say, please step up to the microphone, state your name, your address, and we'd love to have you step up.
I might not need a microphone because I'm loud.
Oh, yeah.
You
Can you hear
what?
me? I might not need a microphone because I'm loud.
Oh, no, you need a microphone because I'm hard of hearing.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Waleska Lages. Everybody calls me Wally because it's easy to remember. I live at 303 Kingsbarn Lane. It's a new community. I'm here with my husband, Dave, and my disabled neighbor. He lives at 305, 309 Kingsbarn Lane.
Okay.
We are here, it should be in your agenda, because we are requesting 3 street lights because of the visibility, that is very poor there. I don't know if you guys received this.
Yes.
Yes. We have 51 homes, and there's only, at Bendelow, 3 lights. Am I correct? Yes. Kingsbarn Lane, which is Main Street, has 2. One at the corner facing where, Dave? I always forget.
One's on the corner of Kingsbarn Lane and Bendelow, and one over further up by Bull's Head Road. One over there by Bull's Head Road, which has nothing to do with the Willowbrook area there, and one on the corner of, on the south side of Bendelow and Kingsbarn Lane. What we're requesting is for there's 2 mailboxes that are right next to a pond. There's no lights there. At nighttime, in the wintertime, the mailman comes there with a flashlight on his head to put mail inside there. We have residents that come, work the late shift, 3 to 11 or whatever, at nighttime, flashing their, aiming their cars so that they could see.
Headlights.
The headlights, so they could see people pulling out the mail. What we're requesting is for a light to be, there's 2 mailbox, one on this side and one on this side. We'd like one light in the middle of that as well, to be able to also illuminate the pond. The pond, we don't know really why it's there. It lets out the thing that gives you the allergies.
Cattail? Those little long things, cattails?
Yeah.
I have allergies, and I'm in front of the pond, so I can't open my window, I can't open the windows, I can't anything, because it gives my asthma and everything. So, he also has twins, and him, and it also affects him. and we, K-Builder is supposed to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
They have it. When it rains, that pond fills up. Because I think the sewage,
The water, the thing that the water's supposed to go through, first of all, a lot of the sewage there, they're all stopped up, okay? The
Yes.
water pours
In
in
the
there
street.
like real, well, where it's supposed to go, it goes real slow. Even when it's not raining, there's water that goes in there real slow. It's not being maintained, that's the bottom line.
Pond is not being maintained.
On Ryan's side, they drain their pond. On the Ryan,
community.
community is, they drain their pond, okay? And I don't know if we're able to do that and if it's safe to do it. We don't know. We just moved to Pennsylvania. I'm sure you probably figured it out already. We're from New York, we're retired, and we got involved with the HOA. She's on the board, and I'm her husband. And we're seeing a lot of things that, like Kings Barnes Lane is the main street, okay? Bendelow goes around the loop. We have people coming from Ryan shooting up this way. We have people from the gated community. I always forget that.
Green something?
Green something,
It's a gated community.
Mhm.
yeah, and people from there shooting down Kings Barnes as well, because Kings Barnes has a south entrance and the north entrance the north entrance being by, Bull's Head Road, the south entrance being by Fullertown Road. So what happens is, the one going down to Fullertown Road, most of the time, they don't even stop at that sign. They just either make their right, or if they're coming from Bull's Head Road, shooting down, they're going straight to Ryan. And also people from where we live at too, see it every, cause we're lot number 2. And,
We see everything.
we see it, we see it happen on a regular basis where eventually there's gonna need, speed bumps.
Mhm.
We understand that they still have to bring I think this, raise
They have
the
to pave
street
the streets.
before the, speed bumps can come, but it's a hazard, to include even the pond. The pond's supposed to have a gate, there's no gate. There's kids always curious, looking around there with their bikes, and, whether it be in the evening, or like waiting for the school bus and stuff like that, the bottom line is they're curious and they're kids.
Mhm.
Now I'm retired, I'm a retired police officer, also retired from the military, and my wife is a retired 911. There's a pond there. One of the things I would hate to see one day is to see some kid or somebody laying in that pond, because there's no light, there's no nothing on there at all, and it's not being maintained.
He's disabled. He can't walk the street, he can't walk. He can't drive it, his motor vehicle, because there's no visibility. It's bad enough that his driveway is sinking, that we have issues with that too. So he is mobilized into his house. He's fighting with K-Builders because his driveway is sinking.
I don't know if you guys realize what happened over at Ryan. They have, there's one of the houses there that is, what's it called, a sinkhole.
In the driveway in
in the
front of the house.
driveway Where,
And we're trying to prevent that with
Yeah.
Ryan, and we want him to move around the community. At nighttime, he can't go out because there's no lighting. So we're just asking for one at Bendelow.
we're asking for 3 lights. One on Kings Barnes Lane in the middle. One in between the mailboxes. Also, one of the homeowners, there's one set of mailbox that has a cement piece that you can walk over. The other one has the grass. They're requesting to do also a cement piece there as
A
well.
pavement,
A pavement, so that this way they don't have to step on the grass.
all
And
the
so
way
this
around.
way the light could go there. And when you come around Bendelow, I believe, there's like, you can't see around the curb, it's real dark.
It's a dead,
That would
it's
be
a
the
dead
third,
spot.
that would be the 3rd spot.
I'm a little confused.
Me too.
The letter that we received identified the group as a homeowners
Yes,
association.
yes, that's what it is.
You may have what you refer to as a homeowners association,
Mhm.
but in Pennsylvania, when there's a homeowners association, they are responsible for maintenance of everything within the development. Willowbrook Phase 2 was not intended as a homeowners association. If it were a homeowners association, you would be responsible for the light. We have it on the agenda to address this concern, and it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah.
In the past, we have contacted PPL and had lights put up at places where citizens requested, and that is our intention to address that tonight. So,
Because maybe I'm saying.
Out of curiosity, what does your homeowners association, what do they do?
Well,
You know what I mean, like,
we just started. The guy, Mike, what's his last name? Pintendo.
yeah, he's the property manager.
Yes.
He's the one that submitted the.
Yes, he's there, cause I did the letter, he cleaned it
Yep.
up for me, and he says, go present it, to the county, see if the, PPL can come put the lights. If we have to pay for the lights to be put on, we have no issue, because it's a safety issue for the disabled, for the senior citizen, for the kids.
No, PPL puts the lights up, we just pay the electric. It's
Yeah.
not that big a deal.
Yeah.
as far as the pond, it sounds like you need to go to
Yeah.
the
that's-
builders
Yeah, no,
to
we're fine.
maintain it,
Yeah,
or with your funds from the HOA, you
yes,
guys
yes,
can maintain
we're
it
doing-
yourselves.
We're doing that.
One of the issues we're having with that is that because they're still working with the community.
Mhm.
So, we're hearing that, because they still have work there, K builders are still responsible for a
Yep.
lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
But
once,
we're getting the back and forth.
once the development is completed, they'll prepare a deeded dedication, they'll dedicate the streets to the borough, they'll dedicate the sewer system, the sanitary sewer system, and the stormwater system to the borough. Then, by ordinance, the borough will adopt the streets, and we'll take care of the storm sewer and the sanitary sewer. But right now, until that development is completed and the developer meets all of the conditions that were established,
Yes.
it's his responsibility.
Now, when they're not, because a lot of homeowners are emailing. They very rarely respond. Where do we go when we have issues like that? I mean, we have people, with his driveway, since the time they moved in, it's been sinking. Okay, they moved in September, we moved in August, okay? He just got an email saying, we've reviewed it, this is from September all the way to, about a few weeks ago? Okay, that they just got an email that we've come to the conclusion that we're gonna wait till the street is, level, till they do the street and they level it up to the sidewalk, that's when they'll do it.
That
But in the meantime-
may have some credence to it.
Oh.
Once right now, it probably just has the course layered on. They put another 1.5 or 2 inches on that, and then hopefully address it. I can't speak for them, but that would be normal procedure.
Okay, now, people have seen that sinkhole on the other side,
Yeah, limestone will do that to you.
okay? I mean, it was the driveway there, the way the hole actually looks, like it could have been the house also. And that was on the Ryan side, okay?
Yeah, there are 11 homes on that side, but they do have a homeowners association, and they are responsible for those things. You, on your side, whether, you may have an organization where you collectively work toward a common end, but it's not the same as what they have in the other development.
It's already formed, we're just starting.
Yep.
Am I correct?
Yeah, well, in Pennsylvania Homeowners Association, they're responsible for everything. Once their sewer line gets out to Howardtown Road, then we take over, but until it does, if something goes wrong in there, it's, the owners, the homeowners are responsible.
Okay, so I have a question, then I'll leave. No,
Oh, you don't have to leave.
No, I sit down. No. Okay, so we can't do anything with the street lights until it's out of K Builder's hand, and then PPL can come in and assess it? That's what I'm understanding?
Well, once council, when we get to that point in the agenda and they address this, if they address it favorably, we'll put a call into PPL, we'll tell them where we want 3 poles,
Okay,
and they'll come and put them in.
okay,
And after that time, once everything comes to the borough, all of the street lighting in there, the borough pays for it.
okay. Because we know, like I said, in New York it's different, so So this is all, it's just almost the same thing. We used to go to meetings like this.
We have
Totally.
We had a tenant association, I don't even, we have 51 homes here, how many apartments do you have?
347. I'm the
347
chairperson.
apartments, so.
So it was a little chaotic, so this is something.
We're not so chaotic here.
No, this is.
No, not here. This is a piece of cake.
One question can I have? Now, HOAs, are these privately things, or do they have like a main HOA for the state or anything like, in other words, if we have to, we have a question, or we want to practice up on something, is there a major HOA, or is just?
That we can do research
That I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I know the other, the gated community you referred to, they have a homeowners association. We don't plow the streets in there, we don't worry about the sewer till it gets out to where our main line is. That is their responsibility.
That's because they're gated?
No, that's because that's how it was established.
Okay.
Because when they came to the planning commission, that was one of the first questions they were asked, is this going to be a homeowners association? And they said, no, this is going to be, like many other developments. They're built, and once everything's finished, we take over the streets, the sewer, and the storm sewer.
Oh, okay. We're learning.
Can I ask, is it that builder community that developed that, or did you as residents in that neighborhood get together and form a committee, like a homeowners association?
It was, when we, bought a house here, they had a HOA.
Oh, okay.
And then, there was no board, so they asked people to volunteer or whatever. So, he was supposed to volunteer, but they said, no, you do it. He said, you do it, Bobby.
But it was something
Yes.
existing that you
Yes.
went to
It was already-
participate in.
yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
there are HO fees.
Thank you.
That I think we're paying, $270 a year. So, but, there are HOA fees established that, as we speak, and residents are paying for it. So, that's why, we didn't have a board, and we were asking, I guess we asked around, and we were able, who was it?
Mike, we did a board,
Mike, yeah.
and then he said he couldn't come today, so I said, I'll give it a try. So I'm here. All right,
Wally,
yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name, and if I have your husband's name?
L-A-Y-E-S,
L-A-Y-E-S?
yes. And my real name is Waleska, but
Uh-huh.
everybody calls me Wally, it's easy to remember.
And Mr. Wally?
No.
No. Yes.
No.
Andano, A-N-D-A-N-O, most people call me by my middle name, David Okanyo, O-C-A-N-A.
Thank you.
And we're lot number 2.
And you don't need his name, right?
Yeah, he's on.
Not necessarily.
Okay. All right, so,
Thank you.
We realize that you are here collectively, and
yes,
that,
okay.
Yes.
And one of the things too, we love him, we love him. We, lived most of our lives up in New York, and, she's from Brooklyn, I'm from the Bronx, and, we love the serenity that it gives us, and, we wanna stay here, but we wanna make sure that, the homeowners are taking, we ain't doing this to, pretty much just to, try to get, we wanna, we pretty much do the same thing like what we did back in New York, tenant association, making sure everybody gets.
It's happy and it's safe.
Happy and it's safe,
That's
mostly safe, because that thing with that pond just really, irks me.
But that's
And,
Key Builders.
we've seen a lot, in my time, I've retired 20 years, and I've seen a lot of things happen that could have been avoided, and it wasn't avoided. So, like they said, they're supposed to have a gate there, it's supposed to be there already, but it's not there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
and you,
Anyone else?
How do you follow that? Hi, my name is Jeff Krebs. I live at 237 East 21st Street. Again, I sort of have an issue with the Station Alley. Over the past couple of years, through the high volume with people cutting down that back alley, there are big ruts and potholes in that alley. And over the years, when the borough does a patch job or something somewhere, they'll come there and put like little touch-up patches in the potholes that are there. All it's doing is just breaking up, making the holes bigger, considering we already got one flat tire. And the water just sits there in that back alley in the ruts on Station Alley. And I was just wondering if they could get it looked at, considering they just paved Bile Alley, which runs, I believe,
North and
which way is
south.
it?
North to south.
North and south. And that was just paved like 2 years ago, and that really wasn't that bad. I'm just saying with all the heavy traffic that's been coming through there lately with the bridge being out, and at rush hour, they, fly down that alley, Ken. You've seen it. So I was just wondering if that and the pothole, or if it possibly be paved or fixed, or someone could look at it, because it's starting to rut, like people, like tractor trailers go down it.
No.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Anyone else?
I put a big star by it.
Okay. No one else? We'll move on with the President's report. I have a few items to speak about. One, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Mary Ellen Hanlon for assisting with the transition of the Borough Treasurer's office in the past few months. She's really stepped up to the plate to help our new hire. We're grateful for her assistance and the knowledge that she's transferring to Mr. Strain. On the agenda tonight is the resignation of Mr. Victor Rodite. He was our senior community planner for the borough. We want to thank him for his 25 years of dedicated knowledge and service to the borough. I also received an email from Hannah Malagio. She's the regional planner for community engagement. And PennDOT District 5 is holding an outreach. You can either attend it or you can listen to it on a webinar. The whole agenda was sent to each of you. Check your email for that information. I almost disregarded it. It looked like junk mail, and it's really important. This will clarify maybe some of the issues that we've had with PennDOT in the past, and especially now that the 329 bridge is being constructed. PennDOT can help you with these questions. So don't overlook that. That is important. Also, it's been brought to my attention that there have been businesses here that have been operating illegally, and not bad. I'm not talking anything bad. It's just that you need to go before zoning if you're going to open a business. Okay? That includes businesses operating out of your house. So if you don't know if your business, say you're going to be selling Pampered Chef, I don't know, I just made that up right this minute. Check your zoning and see if you can do that. If you're baking and selling, you need to check with the health officer. If you're running and selling merchandise out of your home. That is the only thing that I wanted to bring up, that you need to go before zoning. And we'll move on to the mayor's report.
Thank you. Last week's nice weather we had gave us a false sense of security that definitely fall spring has arrived, and now we're back to the reality of the winter. So despite our urges to get out and plant and see the beauty of spring's blooms, we have to wait a little long yet. So in the meantime, though, we had a crack staff of egg stuffing engineers last night here to help out the Easter Bunny for this Sunday's Easter egg hunt. So all the youngsters in town this Sunday at 1 p.m. I'm sure we'll figure with details later. There'll be the Easter egg hunt at our municipal park. So look forward to that. And yes, the Easter Bunny will be there. So youngsters, have something to look forward to this upcoming Sunday at 1 p.m. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Solicitor's report.
Yes, I would first just like to make a slight clarification to your comments about home-based businesses.
Okay.
If someone is operating a business out of their home or another location, certainly they have to contact the borough, because it's not that they'll necessarily require zoning approval, but they may require certain approvals. So in order to determine what approvals they may need, please contact the borough office, because it's different kind of from situation to
Right.
situation. So I just wanted to provide that point of clarification. And then I don't know if now is the time that you'd like me to address my findings with regard to the farmer's market and the
Yes.
licensure
Yes,
of
okay.
that. Okay. There was a question with regard to the inspection and licensure of farmer's market vendors. Now you have, I'd say, 5 categories. Break it into 5 categories of on-site food preparers, such as your food trucks, sellers of temperature-controlled foods, things that have to be kept on ice, eggs, meat, cheese, raw meats, food processors, people who sell processed and packaged foods, say beef jerky, for example. And then off-site food preparers, your people who come and sell baked goods that they've prepared in their homes that aren't temperature controlled. And finally, your non-food vendors. In terms of what needs to be regulated by the Borough Health Office, it is your on-site food preparers, your food trucks, and your sellers of temperature-controlled foods, because those things, you don't want to have somebody selling those at the farmer's market until and unless they've been inspected, they've been licensed by the borough, and we know that food's safe. Now, the Department of Agriculture deals with your food processors and your off-site food preparers. So we don't need the health officer to be inspecting or licensing those people. Just needs to make sure that they are in compliance with the state. And then, of course, your non-food vendors. You're not gonna necessarily be dealing with any of these issues. However, Chapter 175 of your ordinances do provide for licensure by the chief of police. So I don't know if that's, I had a question in terms of, is that the intent and the practice that you would license anybody who would be selling at the farmer's market? Because it's within the scope of that ordinance, but that they would be obtaining a license for a fee through the chief of police. So is that, I'm not certain that that's the current practice, but.
No, chief of police doesn't inspect.
No, not an inspection, but just the issue of a license pursuant to section 175 of your
That's what our
ordinance.
health officer does, correct? He's the one that issues the license.
Okay,
yes.
so we might need to straighten some things out. We might need to straighten our ordinance out or our practice out, just to make sure that everything is running smoothly. And in accordance with our ordinance, because it does state that licenses of issued to peddlers in the borough, such as farmers market vendors, are licensed by the chief. So, that's what I found, yes. So we can have some further conversations about that.
Okay.
And
Answer the questions.
does anybody have any questions in that regard on this particular issue?
No, but it would seem then that that's kind of a fair, that everybody is being charged at like a licensure fee to participate. So
Yes.
whether they're selling food or not, they're kind of checked out one way or another. I'm sure the chief of police is gonna be right on top of that, along with Mr. Verasink, and we would have an even, okay. That
And
does
then-
clarify, I think, our questions that have been bantered about over the last several months.
And then Mr. Verisink, of course, would be
Yes.
inspecting and licensing
The
those two categories
right.
of
He's been
food
doing his
sellers.
job.
Yeah, okay,
Wonderful.
But I don't think I have clarification of the question why they're being charged $50 to participate in our farmer's market for the licensing, even though they have the state licenses.
Well, now, what I haven't seen is any resolution setting that dollar amount, but under chapter 175 of your ordinances, anybody who's selling, you know, I don't have the language in front of me, I think transient vendor must be licensed. And so somewhere you must have a resolution that sets that at $50. So that's irrespective of whether or not, that's any vendor. That is, you know, somebody who sells crafts. It's just that they are selling on borough property, you know, for a period of time, so.
So it's the borough charge, not a licensing charge?
Right.
Okay.
It's separate and apart from the inspection that would be done by the health officer with regard to those two categories of
Okay.
food. So anybody selling, any food truck or seller of temperature-controlled foods would have their licensure and fee for the inspection by Mr. Verisink, and also could be charged that $50 fee.
Which they
To
are, and that was the
participate
question, yes. If they already had a state
in-
license, they didn't understand why they were paying $50 more.
It is your chapter 175 of your ordinances.
Thank you.
Anyone selling transient retail, any transient retail business.
Yes.
Is how it's stated. in the
Thank you for
ordinance.
pulling up that
It's
language. I'm
actually-
having
it's right
technical,
here, yeah.
major technical difficulties. Can't pull anything up, so, yeah.
Anything else, Ms.?
That is the end of my report.
Thank you. Moving on to reports from committees, we'll start with administration and finance. Mr. Hall.
Thank you. Mr. Payne and his daughter Sally Madden presented a program on the Atlas and cement history to approximately 80 students from the Northampton High School. On Saturday, May 4th, the Historical Society will use the council room from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for a community presentation. All are welcome. As a close of business Monday, March 18th, we received $964,785.74 in garbage payments. There is a total of 149 viewers as of March 7th of the council meeting, and new bookkeeper David Strain started on Monday, March 18th, and was immediately faced with the payroll preparation. And the borough office will be closed Friday, March 29th, and Monday, April 1st, in observance of the Easter holiday. And the report.
Thank you. Building, Land, and Recreation, Ms. Haldeman.
Thank you. The ACON is scheduled for Sunday, March 24th at 1 p.m. As the mayor stated, is at the municipal park. In the event of rain, distribution of eggs and prizes will take place at the recreation center. Work continues to prepare the pool for another season. Park rentals are still available, and beginning April 2nd, non-residents may apply for a park permit. End of report.
Thank you. Code and Police, Mr. Stone.
Yes, thank you. On Wednesday, March 13th and Thursday, March 14th, the zoning hearing board met and approved the appeals that were presented. One of the appeals was withdrawn. The Civil Service Committee will administer the entry-level patrolman testing on Saturday, April 6th. There are 5 applicants. Northampton Borough Police Department for February of 2024 had 506 dispatches, 138 incident reports, and 20 accident investigations that were completed. And a report.
Thank you. Fire and Health, Mr. Harmon.
Thank you. Solicitor Stephanie Stewart researched the question of licensing the farmers market vendors and provided council with an email distribution of her findings and also verbal just a few minutes ago. Mr. Brooks believes it would be helpful for her to review that letter if there are any questions to anyone. Enclosed in our packet this evening is the Health Officer's summary report for the month of February and the minutes from the February 27th Health Board meeting. The Board of Health will meet on Tuesday, March 26th at 7 p.m. The annual Fire Department report has been prepared and members of the Fire Committee have been provided a copy. And this report has been thoroughly prepared. You can see it is very large. And if anyone wishes to see a copy, Mr. Brooks has one and would be very willing to share the information with you. End of report.
Thank you. Public Works and Sewer, Mr. Donahue.
Thank you. A crew for Public Works Department was out removing the St. Patrick's Day shamrocks and put up the Easter decorations. March 22nd marks the final day of employment for Frank Winkelbauer. The crew will gather at Triborough Sportsman Club to wish him well in his retirement. It would be to council's advantage to consider designating a replacement for Public Works Supervisor Greg Morey that would afford ample time for a transition. End of report.
Thank you. Unfinished business? We have none. Moving on to new business. Let me just get this report in line. Somehow lost it. Okay. I lost a sheet. No, I don't see it. I got about 15 sheets of paper here. No, wait. I got it. Fine, thank you. I got it. I agree, we need to be looking at a replacement. It's gonna be hard to replace for Public Works, but we don't wanna be caught without a manager. So, opening of bids for the bucket truck.
We received 3 bids. I'll open them now. First one is from VersaLift. Let's see, where are they? They're out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Let's see, specs and info. Total package price is $145,514. Let's see if they have an available date here. Quite a bit of information.
I know how it feels.
No. But that, okay, that's VersaLift. Second one is from,
Did you have an estimated delivery or no?
Couldn't find
pardon
it.
me?
Couldn't find it? There's no estimated
No,
time frame?
I couldn't find it.
All right.
These will have to be turned over to the solicitor for review. The second one is from Lehighton Ford. $178,288.23. I'm not sure, did we specify a date of delivery?
I don't recall that we did.
Okay.
With the way supplies are going right now, whatever they give you, it could be months after anyway.
That will have to be part of your review unless we want to sit here all night long.
I'm happy to do that.
This one, and the last one is from Miracle Ford, Tamaqua. Notes on price sheet. Going as fast as I can. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're getting somewhere.
Not on page one.
Let's see. They have this, it would appear that they have this separately. They have the chassis, and then they have the,
Give you a calculator.
no, I'm trying to find the aerial part. Chassis doesn't do us any good.
If you have a ladder.
Not without, yeah, a ladder.
We have to assemble it ourselves.
Yeah, like an erector set.
Right there, they're out. It's free.
I don't see the aerial part. Because they're showing a final total of $52,157.13.
Is that used?
So, I will turn this all over to our solicitor.
Do we know like the model, condition, and like last inspection of the truck?
The model of the truck is a 2024 F-550, a Ford.
For which one?
Pardon me?
For which one?
All three of them.
Two of them, he's two, right?
The one from Lehighton Ford is an F-600 chassis. And the one from Versalift is a F-550.
So 2 550s and 1 600.
I don't know. I'll turn these over to the solicitor. We are not pressed for an immediate, what was, the last one was 57, what did I
I
say?
had 52 something.
52
Two,
something.
that was just for the chance.
Yeah.
May I see that last one back? Yeah, just that one, please.
We got 52, but we didn't get the.
I'll get the last number, just for the
This is
minutes.
so outrageous.
52,157 and 13 cents.
But you think that's only the chassis?
Yeah, if there's more there, I don't see it.
So we don't have anything else to do with this right now, right?
No,
Okay.
until it's reviewed and a recommendation is made, we can defer this until, the next meeting.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Consider resignation request of Victor Rodite.
Victor Rodite, the longtime community planner, has submitted a letter stating his desire to resign. Victor has served the borough for many years in a variety of capacities.
I have a motion to accept the request.
I make a motion to accept his resignation.
Motion made by Ms. Almond. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Knopf. Any questions? No questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider request for permission to advertise for road materials.
It's that time of the year again that we prepare our specifications for bids for road materials. We do this in conjunction with Northampton Borough Municipal Authority and North Catasauqua Borough. That way we get a better price. I just need your permission to prepare the advertisements.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Donahue,
Second.
second by Ms. Haldeman. See, I heard.
Got that.
Questions? No questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider request of Northampton Fire Department.
The Northampton Fire Department is requesting permission to conduct a coin toss fundraiser on Saturday, April 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the intersection of 21st and Main Street. Further, they would like to establish Saturday, April 27th as a rain date.
Do I have a motion to grant this request?
I make a motion to grant the request, conduct the coin toss.
Second.
Second by, I didn't get that. Mr. Knopf, question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider request of Northampton Liederkranz.
Northampton Liederkranz will be presenting their third annual bike night on Saturday, July 20th. The event will go from 6 to 10 p.m. They are requesting permission to close and place no parking signs on Siegfried Avenue from 9th Street to Birch Court, which is a half a block.
Do I have a motion to honor the request?
Make a motion.
By Ms. Haldeman, second.
Second.
By Mr. Hall. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider request to install street lighting.
We have received a request from MRH Enterprise LLC to install additional street lighting in the Willowbrook Phase 2 development. The writer had identified himself as a homeowners association affiliate. However, Willowbrook Phase 2 does not have that. The street lighting is a responsibility of the borough.
Do I have a motion to honor this request?
Motion to approve.
By Mr. Stone. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hall, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider the appointment of pension plan chief administrative officer.
With the retirement of Mary Ellen Hanlon, council needs to appoint a chief administrative officer for the 3 existing pension plans. In the past, the borough manager had served in this capacity, and I am willing to do so with your permission.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
That's really nice. Do I have a motion to accept this request?
Motion.
Made by Mr. Hall. Do I get a second?
Second.
By Mr. Donahue. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider the appointment of borough treasurer.
Historically, the borough's bookkeeper has also served as the borough's treasurer. I would suggest that you appoint David Strain as the borough's treasurer.
Have a motion to accept this.
Make a motion.
Mr. Knopf? Do I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Stone? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider the request from the Hyman Group.
Borough Council has the authority to allow apartment complexes with 8 or more units the option of hiring their own private refuse hauler. The new owner of 1204 Main Street is making that request.
Do I have a motion to honor this request?
I'll make a motion because I have a question.
Well,
I need to second the motion. So that's my question.
I'll second it for you.
Thank you.
Just do that.
motion by Haldeman, second by Stone with a question.
Is this routine, Leroy? Is this something that, because,
The last one that we allowed to do this was the old Tama building, and they have approximately the same number of units.
So to Judy's, Councilwoman Judy's point, how many of these have we allowed? I mean, is it a lot?
Less than a half a dozen,
and have we ever turned anyone down?
not that made the request, no.
So this allows this owner to not be involved in our trash hauling, not have to pay our trash
That's
taxes.
correct. These are 13 efficiency apartments. It's not like, a huge,
Okay, is it appropriate to indicate that there are other properties that are going to be owned by this individual, and if the request comes again, then we have more property that we might be getting this request upon?
that's possible, yes.
And is that,
The last one, I think that, well, I said, the Tama building, but
Right.
I know 902 Main Street, that used to be the Clyde Shirt Factory.
okay,
That was also granted, the right to hire their own. I mean, you can deny it, but,
but we've done it in the past, so we have initiated a practice in the past, so there's no fair reason to say no. And I guess I might,
Well
say
said.
that, I
It is for me.
apologize.
well
Sorry.
said.
The only other thing, okay.
Go ahead.
The only other thing I have is more truck traffic, which is a drop in the bucket compared to all the other truck traffic that we have. Oh, it's one more truck. And the size of that building, like you're saying, it's probably once a week at best for that amount of parts. And I know where she's leading with the same owner and the same with what's on the books, but could be another. I mean, we're probably losing more in payments for the building than he's gonna wind up paying out, because his pickup for efficiency apartments, you can probably put a small,
dumpster.
like we have here in the back behind the station or at the fire station. So, I mean, it's, what we have done in the past, my question was, and the question was too, how many others have we had? I know we have, but if you knew, and the ones you rattled off.
I could find
The
out,
ones you make-
right off the top of my
made-
head.
Made sense, and I think my questions were all answered then, but like I said, the only other thing was this truck, but what's one more truck considering there's other trucks that we need to stop? That one truck is piddly, so, that's all I have.
So I have another question. So what happens if that contract is broken and the garbage does not get picked up? Does it fall in the borough then, that we have to get to pick up this garbage?
No, we would, the code officer then would approach the owner of the building and say, you have a mess here, clean it up. I mean, they cannot allow garbage to accumulate outside. It has to be picked up on
But
a
it could
regular
happen.
basis. They'd probably put a dumpster there. And if people would throw all their stuff in the dumpster would get emptied
So
in
at
all
the-
likelihood
But
twice
it's
a
possible
week.
at this significant savings, they may not be picking up that dumpster as often as they should.
That's right.
Then we would have to remind them of their responsibility.
I see
Because
this.
the International Property Maintenance Code prohibits the accumulation of garbage on the outside of the house.
After a period of what time?
We get complaints in the office occasionally of people putting it out the day after garbage. And if it's in a good container with a lid on, nobody, but we have, and back when I was code officer, I'd send people letters and say, you cite the chapter and verse of the property maintenance code and say you're in violation. Fix it.
Except we have issues where code goes on and on and on and on. Therein lies some of my concern, if we don't know if this is gonna be a responsive.
You could have that same situation
I
if they
understand.
had the borough's garbage collector.
I understand that. I
In his
understand.
behalf, I gotta say, he actually runs a pretty clean act, I would think. If there was probably the previous owner, I would probably been more
Oh,
worried.
yeah.
Been more worried, but that's all.
No.
But, I would say, he does run a pretty good, with his other sites. I don't think that would be an issue. But, I mean, even down to his parking, he has that under control for parking of other vehicles, so I don't see that being an issue, I really.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Where would he locate that dumpster in that area that you know of?
That was on the
People
print
from
somewhere.
Turkey Hill and
Yeah.
everywhere else.
That was on the print. I wanna say it was in the back corner.
Yeah,
there,
in the
By
back,
the train station.
Like adjacent to the property that belongs to Bob's Flower Shop. There's an area back there that it could fit it in.
That wasn't one of the designated 21 spots, was it? Parking spots?
No, I don't think so.
Not a 30/20, yeah.
They got lots of parking there. Norfolk Southern, they love them. This guy has an agreement with Norfolk Southern.
For 2 years, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I just went through this last Wednesday with him.
there you go.
Yeah, then what happens? Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Who's that?
Opposed? I'm opposed.
Yeah. Opposed?
Opposed?
Take a roll call.
Okay.
If you are in favor of the motion, vote aye. If you are opposed, vote nay. Wait, let me make a note here. 12:04. Okay, Ronald Knuth,
Nay.
Kenneth Hall,
Yeah, yes.
Bonnie Almond,
Nay.
Trevor Stone,
Nay.
Judith Haldeman,
No.
Jason Donahue,
No.
Julia Kutzler,
No.
and the motion is defeated.
Thank you. Moving on, consider request for use of the portable van trailer.
Okay, let me find my notes here. We have received a request from the West Lehigh Chamber of Commerce to use the portable band trailer on Sunday, May 5th. They will be informed that the rental fee will not be waived, and they are also required to provide a certificate of insurance naming the borough as additionally insured.
Do I have a motion to honor the request?
This is the first one, Western Lehigh Chamber of Commerce, is that correct?
Yes,
Confirmed.
West Lehigh Chamber of Commerce.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Ms. Haldeman,
Second.
second by Ms. Almond. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider requests for fire police service.
We have received a request from the Lehigh Township Fire Company asking for our fire police support on Saturday, March 23rd. That's 2 days from now. This would be in conjunction with their Fireman's Sportsman's Night. I spoke with Fire Police Captain Ken Hall, and he said they should have sufficient coverage to assist.
We have a motion to honor the request.
I'll make a motion.
By Mr. Donahue, do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Knopf. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider the request of the Diamond Fire Company in Walnutport.
We have received a request from the Diamond Fire Company in Walnutport to use their portable band trailer from Friday, June 28th through Sunday, June 30th. They have used it many times in past years. They'll be informed of $300 per day rental fee, $150 for delivery and setup, and will also be required to provide a certificate of insurance naming the Borough of Northampton as additionally insured.
Do I have a motion to honor this request?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Knopf. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stone? Any questions?
Yes, I do. It's
Go
right
ahead,
in the
proceed.
letter, it states that they're asking for a consideration of the waiver of rental fee, so are we gonna clarify that with them? It says it right
They
there.
already know it.
And there's, so that supersedes this letter?
Yeah.
Yeah, the motion is exactly what's written here.
The resolution that was passed allows for
Okay.
no waiver of fee.
Okay,
If they don't want to pay that, and
It's
that
not-
will be clearly stated in the acknowledgement letter, they won't get it.
okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider the request of the Northampton Area High School.
We have received a request for the assistance of the fire police in connection with the high school commencement services. They have scheduled 3 days, Friday, May 31st, Saturday, June 1st, and Sunday, June 2nd. And since the ceremony will be held in Al Erdesi Stadium, the second and third dates are rain dates. They intend to have this on Friday, May 31st. If it rains, they'll have it on Saturday, June 2nd. If it rains again, it'll be on Sunday, June 2nd. July, June 1st. 7:30 to 9 p.m.
I have a motion to honor this request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Stone. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Ms. Almond.
Do all 3 days.
Under questions, I have a question. Where's their school police? Are they gonna have school police out there as well as the fire police?
You want the right answer? You want the truth answer?
Yeah, I want the right answer.
No, I jotted down and I gotta get to, we put in a lot of hours over
Yes,
the
you
last
did.
4 or 5 years to do this event, let alone sit aside for 3 days to say, hey, if we don't do it this day, we're gonna do it this day. So just sit back and wait for if it's gonna rain or not. I do whatever, cause my guys, I brought it up to them and they said they'll do it, they'll help with the, I don't know what I'm gonna have for them. It's hard to say, don't do nothing all weekend.
That's right.
But, I mean, with emergencies and everything else they go, but, my guys voted and they said they were gonna,
But
I
do you
think
have
they
assistance
should
from your
up the
school police?
ante on what they do for their donation though, but other than, we probably put, with what we get the donation, we probably put more than that in the fuel to run the truck for the night.
Okay. So
And but
what you're saying is the school
I
police are
can't
not
govern
gonna
what
be
the
there.
donation is, that's my issue, I take whatever, so.
when I send a letter to them, I will suggest that perhaps they might want to acknowledge,
I'll get them a list of the man hours, and really,
yeah, get me that
I had it, I just don't have it with me.
okay.
Yeah, I went over the last four years, whatever, up to COVID, whatever, the 1 year.
I don't think it would hurt to remind them. If they would have the police for a football game, we charge them over $60 an hour. So, you know, if they could throw you a little something, it would be nice
We're
and
nowhere in that
appreciated. No, you won't get that much.
I said, we're nowhere in that ballpark.
You're all volunteers, and you're asking volunteers to give up an entire weekend. And I'm asking, where's their police department, where's
I
their
mean,
security force?
I'm not saying the guys will do it, and I'll give them what we can. We're good.
You good on this?
Yeah.
If I may add, we do have security guards that do direct traffic in the morning, so they should.
Okay, we wanna make sure that they're there for this event
Oh,
too.
they're there. I won't say that they aren't there. I'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to reports from council members. Start with Mr. Hall. Make me feel better about the police situation at the school.
I'll sit down. I'll talk with our chief about that. I can only add to my neighbor's concern over there. Chief Kadingo knows I hit him up at least once a month or something, and the nice weather that we had this past week, it brings them out. They start bailing off of 21st Street, and they shoot up your alley, and they shoot up my alley, and they blow all the stop signs, and soon kids are gonna be out there, so I do remind him, and he occasionally has cars that he has available that he can sit and watch. I'm gonna request that of him again tonight, but, but he's used to that. But, it's just the thing, the way it is, when the traffic gets to the sun's out, they're sitting there, they get tired of just sitting there in the sun on 21st Street, and they decide to bail and shoot up and down all the alleys, so. The other thing I have is, this will be the first, but, last meeting we'll have before Easter, wish everybody happy Easter. That's all I have, end the report.
Thank you. Mr. Stone?
Yes, thank you. I have a few things for myself, and I've been asked by Councilman Glassick to say a few things on his behalf as well. There's maybe only about 10 things on this list, so I'll try to not miss any items.
Get away from it.
Yeah, you were wrong.
You get the sludge report, too.
So, all right, so on,
Yes, we did, yes, that's mine.
with the resignation of Victor Rodite, I just want to say thank you for your 25 years of service and appreciate your dedication to the borough, so thank you for that. Street cleaning around for us they did a really great job. Is that something that we can add, maybe either GoGov, that'll be alert there? Because some people, we missed an opportunity with some people still being parked where the street cleaner had to go around them, so did a great job, but there was some cars parked there. We could have done better with that. All right, so now with Councilman Glassick's list. So one of the things looked like it was answered. It sounds like Greg Moy's replacement is on us. We'll have to come up with his replacement and then an opportunity for someone to shadow him for a few weeks, so we don't lose that opportunity before he retires. Do we have any update on the sewer project?
I think we're talking about, if I can jump in, because I got this same email he shared. But I think, as I've asked also, like, can we just kind of have an update on where we're at with our entire 5-year plan?
We are currently under construction up at 21st Street Pump Station. The next one that we'll be looking at will be the Stewart Street Pump Station. We are working on the collecting system before we attack. You know, I spoke with the engineer this morning, Kevin Byer of Gilmore and Associates. And that is what they are going to focus on for next year.
Is still the pumping stations.
Yeah, Stewart Street Pump Station. By then, 21st Street will be complete.
And so how about the grant that we did find that we got for like the 2 mil, and we were gonna put the in situ form in down in that, when is that going to kind
I
of hit the
spoke to him about
streets?
that today. We want to get specifications prepared. They're going to advertise it on Penn Bid, and we'll go from there.
So that will happen in 2024 to the best of
Yes.
our abilities?
Yes.
So the 2 pumping stations, the in situ form, are gonna be the 3 projects for 2024, or is there more to it?
Well, Stewart Street probably won't happen until next year.
To 2025.
We have to finish 21st Street first.
And there's a lot to
There's,
that.
well, quite a bit, yes.
So I think that sometimes that might be part of the educational process for all of us and the public who's going to be benefiting from this upgrade is, what does that entail, that update to the 21st Street? So maybe tonight's not the night if you need to prepare, but that's kind of also what I've been wanting to hear a little bit more about, because the pumping stations, there's a lot of focus on, some of them
Yeah.
are very, very old.
Oh, yeah.
As you've told me, Leroy likes to talk
They're
about.
older than me.
Yeah, so we know they're old. Yeah. And
No
focusing
mercy,
on
Leroy.
that, in the Newport area, how long it has been since the updates have occurred down in that
Well,
area.
the pipe that we wanted to put the in situ form in was laid in 1931. And it goes to a pump station that was there when it was built, when it was constructed.
Which is the
Because
one
by
down.
gravity, it didn't have any way to get where it was going.
And am I correct in remembering when I went on my tour of the sewer system, that was done beautifully by Mr. Scott, the pumping station that's down kind of by Queenship of Mary Church is the oldest pumping station in our town? Is that correct? in my memory?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's say yes.
Let's say yes, okay. Thank you with kindness for not making me look stupid. Okay. So, again, I don't want to interrupt, but I think that that's kind of where we'd like some clarity, is what are we really looking at getting done in 2024? And what are we looking forward to in 2025?
2024 is 21st Street Pump
Pump station.
Station, relining
In situ.
the line on Canal Street. 2025 will probably be the Stewart Street Pump Station.
And one more question for me is that $2 million grant going to be sufficient to cover the area of pipe that we had hoped for?
We will go as far as we can. We have to match $1 million of
We
that.
do have to match $1 million.
Yeah, we get
okay.
$2 million
And we have to put it back.
from the grant,
Right.
and we have to match $1 million.
So we're
So
putting.
for $3 million, I don't think we'll be able to do the entire run, but we'll get most of it. And that should help. The water table down there is the lowest because it's in the floodplain.
Right.
And if the pipes have any kind of imperfections in them, it lets the water in and it ends up at the sewer plant and we have to treat it.
Right.
I&I, infiltration and inflow, are two of our biggest problems. And down there, we get a good heavy rain and the river comes up, we're in trouble.
Well, right, and I think that has a lot to do with the crossover to our stormwater management plan, which sometimes Lehigh Valley Planning Commission helps us out with our act also. Is that somewhat correct?
The MS4 program is,
Independent.
it seems that the air has gone out of the bellows on that thing. Not necessarily with us, but with everybody. There just doesn't seem to be I shouldn't say this.
Yeah, because that's not what I'm
There
reading.
doesn't seem to be the interest in it as much as there was when it was first created by EPA and, they pushed it on the DEP then.
I mean, it's still hitting some of the books the materials that I come across my mail. So that's why I asked, because again, I think that there's some crossover with infiltration and inflow. So.
Yeah, right now I'm more worried about our sanitary sewer
Yeah.
system than
Okay.
our storm sewer system.
Okay, all right, so we have 2024 as 21st Street and in situ form.
Yeah.
That's our plan. And Stewart Street will be 2025.
Your turn again.
Is it my turn?
Sorry. It is, go, keep
So
going.
much for your nodding.
You know I'm,
Where was I?
you're down to.
Okay,
Third
do we
ward.
have a date on when we'll start repaving again?
Once the weather breaks, probably, let's see, March, late April, beginning of May.
And do we have areas picked out that we're gonna start?
Some, and I wanna take a look at
Station Alley.
Station House.
Station Alley's on that list. Okay, also, do we have an update on the sidewalk at 581 East 10th Street? This is gonna come up every meeting, so.
I don't have anything to report.
Is it something that we can just do ourselves and just back charge?
Who do we charge? We have notified everybody we thought owned, that was responsible for that, and we've been totally ignored. And they'll do the same thing if we might as well just fix it and eat the cost.
Well, then that's probably what we should do, I think, at this point, right? I think
Okay.
No,
Can we contact the PUC, see if they can get involved? And cattle prod somebody there?
For one block of sidewalk.
I think we should take care of it and then figure out how we're gonna pay for it
take
later.
on PPP now.
Honestly, that's just my.
Wait, let me make a note.
That's just my-
581 East
East 10th Street.
10th.
4 bags of Quikrete will take care of
We'll
that.
put a big bow on the
I
pole
should
and
get
tell
that
Merry
tattooed
Christmas
on
to
my
Mr.
forehead,
Glass.
I know that.
What about the boxes at the
We'll
community
do it.
center?
Maybe the Willowbrook HOA could help us out with that. I say,
What?
Never mind, Bonnie told me to wait. my
appreciate
turn.
that.
It's not
All
really
right.
on Walbach Avenue.
What else you got?
What else do I got? All right, one thing that was already, I think, taken care of was the training plan for Davis Drain. I guess Mary Ellen is helping us with that again.
Yeah, she came
So-
in and, I talked to her on Monday night and, she's in as a volunteer.
All right,
And
well,
she has been most helpful.
Thank you to Mary Ellen, we appreciate that. What about the application evaluation reviews? Remember we had talked about the, actually it's the evaluation reviews, we made some suggestions to rework them. Any progress on that?
No. I could tell you a story, but you don't wanna hear a story.
No, maybe later.
It's Brian's fault?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brian's holding this up?
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
No, I did an evaluation on him and I did one on Bernadette. Those are in their personnel records. I used the form that has been in place forever.
Okay.
And they both scored very well. They were not at risk.
To reflect too and add on is, I think this is when we talked about maybe.
Yeah, changing
it up,
the
yeah.
scoring,
Okay,
changing
yes.
the
We all put our
criteria.
suggestions on
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it should look like, and, so, as of now, there's no plans to
Well, there are
redevelop.
plans, but it has yet to be accomplished.
Okay. And I believe this is the last thing. Did we get signs, made up for the farmer's market? Do we have a contractor set up to make signs for the farmer's market?
We will be ordering them soon. Yeah,
I thought you were hiding behind the screen.
No.
Hey, don't eat that thing.
no. I met with Pat last week, and the original avenue we wanted to do for the signs, not gonna work. So we got to figure out a new path for the signs. But yeah, we're gonna order them. We have the idea. We know what we want to put on them. We just need to find the best signs for the price.
Yeah, the ones that we had originally planned to get, it seemed like too good a deal,
Ah,
and apparently it was.
Indeed.
they were made of cardboard, or?
No, they were well made and they were colorful and they were cheap and apparently unavailable.
Yeah, we originally thought we could do a lot more editing of the sign than we could, and it turns out it would have just been a white sign with black text. We really just wanted an orange background, so
All right. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I believe that's the end of my report.
And Ron's report?
And Ron's report. Yeah. I use Advertise all the time.
Okay, Ms. Haldeman, go ahead.
Oh, she
Thank
had
you.
her turn already.
She did.
Hey.
That's it.
I might have one or two other things. I also want to extend my thanks to Victor Rodite for his time and energy he's put into the borough, and that's much appreciated. I'd also like to wish Mr. Winklebauer, we don't remember how many years, but he is retiring, and as stated, there'll be a celebration, I believe, with his fellow workers, so best wishes to him as he begins his next chapter. I I myself read about the pool progress. I guess I just want a little more clarification with that too. Do you know, do we have is the slide up, is the new diving board, is it in? That's kind
I
of.
believe the new diving board's in place. They were up there, we ended up putting a couple of yards of concrete in some place,
A new
so
concrete pad,
that
yeah.
may, the slide is not in place
Okay,
yet.
but that will be there for the opening of the
Absolutely,
season.
for opening day.
Right, okay. I'd like, after that last conversation, I'd like to thank Mr. Hall and his entire department there, because again, that sounds like quite a task you're taking on, especially for the school. So, you know, especially with a donation, that sounds like it might not be quite adequate or fair. So thank you for your time and dedication to doing that. That is appreciated in this community. My last question is, can we make is at a point, what can we do in terms of moving ahead with looking for replacement for Mr. Maury? Or do we have to make a motion? Does it have to be on the agenda for the next meeting? How do we go about advertising? Is it going to be just internal? Is it going to be internal and external? How are we going to operate?
Perhaps the committee would like to meet and we can discuss it.
So Public Works needs, so then we
Yeah.
need to get together, let's say sooner rather than later. And
Sooner than later, yeah.
can we squeeze something in next week for a real quick meeting perhaps?
I'll be available all next week, except Friday, we're not here.
Right, correct. Okay, well, let's see if we can, I'll chat with everybody and be in touch and see if we can kind of come up with a quick time frame.
I want to sit in on that committee
Of
too,
course.
Judy.
All right, I'll be in touch. Thank you, that is the, I yield back the balance of my time.
Yes, finally.
Okay.
I don't want to tell Trevor, he kind of glossed over it, but thank you, Judy.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
know if there was a balanced laugh.
Yeah, look at what time it is.
Negative. Two people gave 3 reports.
I apologize. I promised Trevor I'd back him up. I might have gone a little over and
Well,
above.
you could leave anytime you want, it's okay.
This is better than television, let me tell you.
Putting on a show for you tonight.
Thank you. Ms. Almond?
My turn.
Your turn.
So, Mr. Brooks, I just wanted to follow up with a letter to Norfolk about the railroad at 10th and Main. Did we send that out?
Where did, we spoke with,
Or with, and he put it on.
yeah, and then we also did, we had spoken with someone from Norfolk Southern, and they said that their guy, unfortunately, when he does the crossing, goes on to the south side of the railroad
That's what I
tracks.
said.
No,
I
Kenny
witnessed
said
that.
Yeah, Kenny
I
said
witnessed
that.
that.
Not all the time. It just happened that
I
he saw
watched
him
one
there
time.
that night.
Okay.
But we were gonna get a letter out just to cover our butts, should something happen, for safety.
Okay.
Thank you. So I attended the zoning meeting the other evening, and I heard of a business here in town that has been in operation for about 6 months without a permit. So I wanted to follow up to see if that permit has been acquired by that business. Does anyone know?
I wasn't here last week. I didn't know anything about this.
I'll talk with Jerry tomorrow. I don't know off the top of my head, but I will talk with Jerry tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Okay, and then the other concern I had, if they don't have the permit or the prerequisites that we require for the businesses, I think the business should be seized until they do have the proper requirements and permit in hand. So please let me know.
I will.
Then I also heard of another business out of a home on Washington Avenue. I have the address if anyone is interested to check that out. I don't know who I need to ask to do that.
Jerry.
Okay.
Yep. If you give me the information, I'll see he gets it.
All right, thank you. I wanted to give an update on the fire department request for the fire hydrant storts. The councilman at the Water Authority had a conversation with them, and they said that they purchased them the last time for about $150. Now they run over $300 each for the storts. So they had suggested that maybe a grant could be written to cover the cost of the remaining hydrants that require this covering. And I spoke with the president and grant writer of the fire department today, and he said he will check into this further to see if he can get those storts. with the grant. He might be contacting you, Leroy, though, to help him know which grant to
Absolutely.
apply for. And lastly, I just wanted to thank Mayor Pristash today for taking my grandchildren on a personal tour and being their guide at the Atlas Cement Museum. I also attended and saw some things that were new myself, and it is very interesting if anybody is interested to tour the Atlas Museum. Lots of information and history of Northampton. Thank you, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Donahue?
Thank you. Leroy, quick question. The flooding on Canal Street that's getting into the sewer line, where's that at? Is that Canal and Stewart Street area only?
Yeah, most of that area is in the area of the,
The pump station there, right?
yeah, in the Hungarian Hall.
Yeah. What is the chances of if we ever repave that canal path there, the Unel Trail, to build the trail up from the boat dock to the apartments there, to make it all level, to keep the water over there? And then the
Water goes wherever it wants to.
Yeah, and the other problem there is the 6 storm drains, it comes up there.
Yeah,
You get 6
we looked into some,
backflow preventers,
yep, and,
that will not help?
no, because the head pressure against that would be such that it keeps anything that's pooling on Canal Street from going
Going
into
out.
the river. So instead of backing up in that pipe, it just won't go out.
Sit there.
And once it, once the water gets to a certain level, even if it comes in up above, all the way up above, up by where that little wishing well is, up by the food bank,
Yeah,
it'll still end up down there.
okay. Yeah, 'cause that's.
It's the 100-year floodplain. There's,
Mm-hmm.
outside of building a dike or a levee or something, and then you lose, well, look what happened in New Orleans. They had a levee there that didn't work.
Yeah, they're looking up at the lake valve there.
Yeah.
That's the problem there. But, okay, no problem. I also was at the zoning meeting on last Wednesday. I have a question. Before we voted a while ago on the 70 apartments on Newport Avenue. Nobody here seen the plans, and we voted on something we would never seen the plans of. Is it possible we can see the plans before we vote on it to move it to zoning and planning? Because it's like buying a car without seeing it. I mean, because there probably other people have questions along with myself there. Because, little questions of the area and everything and how much spots he had in that. But, and the other thing, the business that's going up there on, Newport Avenue that Councilman Alden said, it's a recon shop. Is that gonna affect the sewer system at all? With all the water they're gonna put down in there and chemicals and everything? Shouldn't they have a separator outside there in their sewer line to collect some stuff?
Which,
1637-39.
oh, in that
Building
one
in the back.
garage that
Yeah.
they're working in.
Cause they're gonna be open for 10 hours a day doing.
I don't think
recon.
those garages have sanitary sewer.
I know, they didn't know if they had a floor drain, but where's all the water gonna go from when they
Well,
wash the cars?
they're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, 'cause
They can't just let it run out in the street. That MS4 prevents that.
that's
They're-
what I mean.
they
They think
have
there's a
some
floor
work-
drain, they said they think
She
there was a
thinks
floor
there's
drain.
a floor drain there, she wasn't even sure.
Yeah, they couldn't answer that question.
Yeah, it's very unusual to hook up a garage to a sanitary sewer line.
That's what I thought, but,
It could be going into a storm sewer somewhere. I know, closest catch basin, I think they're down at 16th and Newport.
So it's just running out into
so the water, yeah, basically running out the garage door.
This is the business
Yeah,
without the permit
that's the
right
business,
now.
yeah, the business of a permit for 6 months.
There again, I would have been at that zoning meeting, but I
Yeah.
was away,
Yeah.
so I can't answer that.
That's why I'm just wondering if we could look at plans of businesses or developers before it gets too far along. Because once it gets eventually to us, it's too late for any other questions to stop it.
Well, once it goes to the zoning hearing board, their decision is final.
Yeah, that's what I
If
mean.
council wants to appeal that decision, they have to go to a court of common pleas.
But you only have a certain period of time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, I mean,
I mean, they serve as an independent body, and council,
There, you might, I I also was at the meeting. I believe there were contingencies put onto their
Yeah,
approval.
a traffic study was one
But there was,
for that
no,
building on
there
Newport.
was something about checking on the water front,
Oh,
because there was conversation about cleaning, and they talked about, I believe they indicate, I don't wanna misrepresent either, but I do believe they talked about they don't have harsh chemicals, but they weren't really able to speak to a great extent about what they were using.
Yeah.
But I believe when, the decision was made and it was written, they did write in some contingencies. Again, there were more than one, but I don't want to speak, and maybe you do recall what, but that would be the one thing to look into, that before then everything is finally issued, that perhaps somebody go out there and look at what those contingencies are, because that might be the way to assure that, especially the water runoff, which was one of the issues. There was some conversation about noise and traffic parking area, and what kind of work was going to be done there. A complete clarity, because there was kind of two references in the write-up, but I believe they said they were only gonna do the car detailing, not the car repair, when someone.
Yeah, they got shot down for the car repair first.
They did. I think they just kind of backed off and said they weren't, but again, I'm not gonna dispute anything, but you might wanna look into those contingencies. That would be, just so I could interject what I recall hearing at the meeting.
Okey-dokey.
Okay, that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Jason?
I'm trying to make mine shorter. Other templates going to be posted tonight on Northampton Hometown Heroes on Instagram and Facebook. And watch out for calls on Thursdays from people that are from the Northampton High School Volunteer Club, as these will be the people that are going to be interviewing you. So if you're interested in having one of these templates, if they say that, then those are likely the people that will be interviewing you. And other than that, I wish everyone a happy Easter.
Thank you. Mr. Knopf?
This question to Mr. and Mrs. Wally. I see your safety concern about the retention pond. I drive past it. It's poor lighting. I don't see no fence or anything around that retention pond. Could be a big safety concern for the children or anybody.
Especially with the kids.
Yeah.
They're curious and everything, there's no lighting, and
It's supposed, especially it's strange kids that don't know the area or anybody.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
They probably are used to it just as the other one, you know.
I think we're gonna take care of that issue.
And also the cement slab, because one of the mailboxes has something that they can find.
Okay. Well, that's, okay. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, I was gonna also bring up that pond issue. I'd like something sent to K Builders. Since K Builders does nothing to return their calls, maybe if the borough requests that a gate be put up, can you do that from,
I will direct the zoning officer to attend to that.
yeah, let's look into that pond issue. That's not a real safety thing. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Knopf. So, do you have anything else to add, Mr. Mayor?
Just happy Easter to everyone, and hope to see you at the egg hunt.
I'll be there for sure. Not? Okay. Miss Attorney Stephanie?
Attorney Stephanie. I will, yes. Attorney Stephanie Esquire, it's my new name. I will be happy to consult with Leroy on a letter to the railroad and with the zoning officer on a letter to K Builders regarding the retention pond. And I have done a preliminary assessment of the bid submitted and opened tonight, and I will provide you a written assessment well prior to our next meeting. I have nothing further.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other announcements, Mr. Leroy?
Nope. I'm all talked out.
You have a motion to pay the bills.
I have one thing, if I could.
Okay.
Only Because it was a real debacle, and we want to make sure that the egg hunt is this Sunday. Can we put on the calendar, because for years and years and years and years, as long as I remember, it was always the Saturday of Palm Sunday, you know, it was always then. Well, we booked another event, unfortunately. Can we put that in, that's just is for the parks for that day? Because on Facebook, it's flying around, everybody keeps saying, well, then he said it was the 30th, then he said, I'm sure they're being flooded with calls here in the office as well as everybody who goes on Facebook or all the other social media is trying to find out. Even if they go Saturday or Sunday, I guess there's one Saturday and there's one Sunday as well, so either day.
There is,
But that we can just book that date year after year after year and alleviate so we don't book it out like it was accidental and it happened, but.
well, when they asked for the equinox thing, I never thought that,
That was the
Palm
date.
Sunday was that early, but Easter came very early this year. We'll see that doesn't happen again.
Good Christian man like you did have Palm Sunday.
What?
A good Christian man like you did.
Yeah, I know it, I'm not gonna get the chance to
aghast.
be here, me and the Easter Bunny.
Well, penance for you, my friend.
Okay, can I get a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion.
To pay the bills by Mr. Donahue, second by Ms. Almond. All those in favor? Questions?
Questions?
Listen, silence.
Question?
Oh,
We're paying the bills, Ms. Haldeman.
I,
Do you have any questions?
I'm afraid to ask them at this point, so no, I'm good.
Okay. All those in favor? You could,
It's more clarity than.
aye. Mr. Stone, would you like to ask the question for Ms. Haldeman?
No.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Guys have it. You need a motion to
Motion
adjourn
to
the
adjourn.
meeting. From Mr. Hall, second by
Second.
Ms. Almond. All those questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. I was thinking of saying opposed, I wouldn't